Hello everyone, welcome back to Kate Makes, and tonight we're gonna make Kimchi Chigae. And Kimchi Chigae is very well known Korean dish, and when it's kind of, I guess it doesn't really matter for the season, but I like hot food during winter and I like cold noodle dishes during summer. And I would say this is a perfect food during winter. And this is the ingredient that you're seeing. Obviously you're gonna use kimchi, and you'll be asking, what is kimchi? It's fermented cabbage, spiced up, kind of spicy. If you kind of go to a household who like really spicy kimchi, then their kimchi is gonna be super spicy. But usually if you buy them from grocery stores, they're not that spicy, so you can give it a try. It's not as gross as you think. It's not as, I guess, distinctive as like natto, which is Japanese soybean. And I think natto is more kind of aggressive flavoring, where kimchi, it's mostly just like spicy cabbage. And so I'll go over the ingredients. Onion, green onion. This one is quite big. It's the Asian green onion. I'm gonna use them because I found them in the grocery store, so I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna use that. Tofu. I love kimchi jjigae with tofu. You don't have to use tofu, but I guess we're making tubu kimchi jjigae, adding the tofu to it, and I love tofu with kimchi jjigae. Crushed garlic. That's gochugaru, red pepper powder, it says. There you go. Pork. And here, there's nothing in it. It's the Korean stone pot, I guess. And I'm gonna start the video with how to clean them, because if you do have these things in your household, you might be washing it wrong. So let me teach you how to wash it correctly, and we'll move on from that. See you on the other side. Alright, so we're here with the stone bowl. It's traditional, I guess, Korean bowl. So here it is. I haven't washed it. So you might think, why is it that it needs a special treatment to wash it? It's because if you look at it microscopic size, there are a lot of holes in them, and it really, I guess, enhances the flavor of jjigae. At the same time, if you use dishwasher soap, then the soap actually gonna get trapped, and you're gonna eat that dishwasher soap or dishwash soap basically in your jjigae. So what you want to do is get a bag of flour, which I have it right here, and just you could just apply them, just get a little bit and kind of spread it. It's like a snow, not too much, just a little bit, and kind of rub it along the side. So what it does is that it's getting all the oil, the things that I cannot clean with water, so it will combine with the oil, and so when I rinse it, it will be all nice. So we do this, get rid of all the excess flour, and wash it. Ta-da! Nice and clean, and that's how you wash the stone bowl. Alright, so now we're gonna prepare the tofu, because tofu is usually submerged in water. That I'm gonna drain them. And then have paper towel. I would use 2 layers like this. Kind of dab it first along the side. And kind of wrap it around and place it like this. And usually you might want to add weight on them so it squeeze out the water, because you don't want, when you cook the tofu, you don't want all the water to come out and kind of water down the broth of kimchi jjigae. So I'm just gonna have it sit here like this while I'm gonna prepare the green onion. So I washed the green onion, and when you cut it, you don't want to cut it straight down, you want to cut it in the angle. So we're just gonna cut off the root. Maybe a little bit more. There you go. So you'll be asking, Kate, where's Ryan? Where's Northern Lion? He is out. Oh, that's way too thin. He's out. He has a class today, and I'm gonna surprise him with kimchi jjigae. Except I did tell him that I'm gonna make kimchi jjigae and I'm gonna record it by myself. So he is not here to help me with recording. But let me know if the video suffers from the quality because Ryan being not here. Also, it's quite difficult to have camera in between your arms while you're cutting things. We don't have to use all the green onion that we're cutting right now because that's a little too much. I'm just kind of cutting it. I'm gonna use a little bit of the white part of it, but mostly I'm gonna use the green part. So I'm gonna make them thin. It's really up to you about the amount of the green onion that you're gonna add onto your kimchi jjigae. It's really your preference. If you like green onion a lot, then we're gonna add a lot of it. If you don't, then don't add it or add a little bit. Okay, now we're back with the onion. The way you want to cut the onion for kimchi jjigae, cut it in half, and we're gonna make it a little bit on the side, not so much on the end of the onion, but quite a bit of like a bite size of it, like this much, like a little 1 centimeter thickness. I'm just cutting the end of the onion so that they're not too thick. This would be the ideal thickness of the onion, and we're gonna put them aside like so. And I guess next I will be cutting the pork. So we have the pork here. I think this is about 200 grams. And what we're gonna do, if it allows me, we're gonna cut it into bite size. There you go. So cut them into the bite size, and I think all we need to do is cut the tofu and preparation will be done. I threw away the paper towel of the tofu, and actually quite a bit of water came out, so make sure you wrap around with the paper towel so you get the most water out of it. And for the thickness of the tofu that we're gonna cut is gonna be a little bit thick and about bite size as well. So I'm using medium firm tofu and cut them right in the middle like so. Basically size like so. I really like thick tofu in my kimchi jjigae, so about this thickness and this size is perfect for me. Alright, so I'm gonna start the fire. Put it in mid-high and add a sesame oil, just a dab of it, kind of whirl, whoop, maybe a little bit more than that. There you go. And we're gonna add about 1 teaspoonful of chopped garlic. So when you can actually see the color of chopped garlic changing or smell the cooked garlic, it's time to add the chopped pork that we have right here. And I'm gonna add them one by one. Oop. If you're vegetarian, you don't have to add the pork at all. If you don't like the pork that much, then you don't have to add as much as I am adding here. I love this part of the pork. It's the same part that they would use for bacon. So since I love them, I added a little bit extra. It smells so good. Alright. Make sure you kind of move them around so they don't get burnt. You don't want burnt meat in your kimchi jjigae. When your pork is, I would say, half cooked, it's basically cooked like so, but it's not completely cooked. You can see a little bit of the pinkness in the middle. Then it's ready to add the kimchi. I cleaned my chopstick before I put my chopstick in the jar of kimchi, but I forgot to mention that if you do not buy, or if you don't buy commercial kimchi, but you have like a whole cabbage kimchi with you, make sure to cut them in bite size. I didn't cut them in bite size because if you buy them from market, usually they're already cut into bite size. So, but if you look at it and the size of kimchi is a little bit too big, then you can just cut them, chop them a little bit down the size. How much am I adding the kimchi? I would say if you are new to this, I would say add about 1.5 cups about kimchi. If you love kimchi and you had kimchi jjigae before or had kimchi before, then add 2 cups of kimchi. I'm basically eyeballing the amount here because I cooked kimchi jjigae before and I know that Ryan loves kimchi, so I'm gonna add a little bit extra because he loves the kimchi. So there you go. Now when you're cooking the kimchi with the pork, make sure you mix them well. Have the kimchi cooked. And I didn't adjust the heat. Just keep it in mid-high. Make sure kimchi gets the heat as well as the pork. I'm just gonna move some pork on top. Alright, so it's starting to look like kimchi jjigae a little bit. We're gonna cook it for about... So for the pork, I cooked it for about, I would say 3-4 minutes. And with kimchi, I would give another 3-4 minutes. It looks good. So now I'm gonna add half of the chopped onion. So when you add them, I think I'm gonna break them so they get more surface of area to have it cooked faster. And also, you don't have to use this Korean stone bowl at all. I just have them, and I like to use it because it's nice. It really gives the authentic feeling of the Korean cuisine, really. And we're gonna mix them. While I'm mixing them, I'm gonna be careful with it. Feels like there are tons of onions, but usually when they get cooked, they don't really add this much volume to it. And we still have tofu and green onion to add on this kimchi jjigae. While I'm kind of getting them to the surface of this bowl, I'm also trying to break them into the layers so that they basically cook faster. It has been cooking about 10 minutes in mid-heat, and it seems like the onions are cooked. And we're gonna add water, finally, to this. If you really like the strong flavor of kimchi, you can add 2/3 of the cup of the kimchi, I guess, water that's in the jar that came with, or inside. But I think today I'm actually just gonna add water. For me, since the bowl is quite small, I think about a cup of water would be fine. Let's see. So I have a cup of water here, 1 cup of water, and perfect. So that's the perfect size, perfect amount of water. If you're using a bigger pot, then I would suggest you to use 2 cups of water. It really depends, but I will write down in the description box of the default amount for, I would say, 2 to 3 people, and you can kind of adjust it as you go. And yeah, so after I added 1 cup of water, what I'm gonna do is that I am going to put tofu and green onion and a little bit of gochugaru, the hot pepper powder, and put the lid on and cook it for 10 minutes or so. So first, let's add the tofu. I brought the tofu right here. I'm gonna add them. Usually, when you're cooking the tofu, they tend to break into small pieces, so you don't have to worry about that. And you might think like, hey, it's gonna overflow. Don't worry, this will be fine. And now we're gonna add the green onion. I already added a little bit. Oop. Don't fall. I will make sure to push over the tofu into the broth. If you have leftover tofu, then I don't think you can finish this in one sitting. And if you don't, then what you can do is next time when you reheat it, you can add more tofu. Okay, and now I'm gonna put the lid. And I'm gonna cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes. It has been just a bit over 10 minutes, and we're gonna open it up and see how my kimchi jjigae is doing. Oh, looks so good. All right. Now, some people like to add egg in them. It's up to you. Usually for my family, we don't add the egg, but it looks really nice. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna taste it, and I'm gonna add the gochugaru and salt. Ooh. Okay, it's a little bit spicy. It's spicy enough for me, but for Ryan, he likes it a little bit spicier, so I'm just gonna add let's say half a tablespoon of the red pepper powder. To make it just to give a little bit more of a kick. So if you like spicier kimchi jjigae, then you can add more of the red pepper chili powder or gochugaru to make it hotter. But now let's see if it's hot enough. It's definitely spicier. I can guarantee you that. Despite I'm from Korean family, I don't really eat spicy food. I don't really like spicy food. But because Ryan really likes kimchi and kimchi jjigae, that it has grown on me. So now I can actually eat, well, the less spicy part of the kimchi jjigae are the meat and tofu. So I usually eat those, less about the kimchi, especially not the broth, because broth is really spicy. But I think this is actually quite good. I'm gonna check if I need to add a little bit of salt or not. For me, I don't really need to add the salt, but I'm just gonna give a little bit, like a dash of salt. Because usually the kimchi is already seasoned. And I'm gonna taste it again to see if it's seasoned perfectly. I would say so. It's pretty good. I think it's actually ready to eat. But I'm gonna wait for Ryan to arrive, unpack his stuff, and hopefully he'll be able to tell you how it tastes like in front of the camera. Ryan's back.
Hello.
And dinner table is set. Alright, are you ready for the kimchi jjigae?
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. That does indeed look like kimchi jjigae. I can confirm that.
Oh. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Here you go.
Take a little broth first. Yeah, that's very good. It's quite spicy too. It's delicious.
Yeah?
You know, I don't fancy myself much of a food reviewer. It tastes like good kimchi jjigae.
Alright.
That's my synopsis.
Ryan approves, and we're gonna go eat dinner now. Bye!
Goodbye.